Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that strikes deep at the heart, a truth that so many of us have lived through but seldom speak about. It's the reality of being irreplaceable, of being that person who gave everything to someone who never truly appreciated it until it was too late. It's about them walking away, thinking they could find someone just like you. But the truth, my friends, is this: they will search for you in others, and they will never find you. You see, we live in a world where people believe that everything can be replaced, that every connection, every love, every bond is interchangeable. But there are some people, special people, who are simply irreplaceable. And if you've ever given your heart to someone, if you've ever poured your love, your kindness, and your energy into them, only to be cast aside, you know the pain I'm talking about. When you loved them, you gave more than just affection. You gave them parts of yourself that were sacred. You were there in their hardest moments, offering support, comfort, and a deep understanding that they couldn't find anywhere else. You knew their fears, their hopes, their dreams, and despite everything, you stood by them. You were the person they could count on, even when the world turned its back on them. You saw their flaws and loved them anyway, offering a safe place where they didn't have to pretend or hide. They will go out into the world, meeting new people, forming new relationships, and with every connection they will be subconsciously searching for you. They will look for that same warmth, that same compassion, that same understanding, but it won't be there. The laughter won't feel as genuine, the conversations won't be as deep, and the love won't be as unconditional. They will search for that sense of security, the one they only ever found in your arms, and no matter how hard they try, they will come up empty. Because you, my dear, are not just anyone. You are a unique soul with a heart that loves in a way that is rare, a way that most people only dream of. The way you listened when they spoke, the way you made them feel understood in a world that often overlooks, the way you forgave them time and time again, even when they didn't deserve it. That was all you. And they will never find that again. They may think they can move on easily, but as time goes by, they'll realize that something is missing. They'll start to see that the love they took for granted is not something they can replace with a snap of their fingers. And that emptiness, that void you once filled, will only grow larger as they search in vain for someone who could ever compare to you. There will come a day when they sit in the quiet of their own thoughts, and it will hit them. The regret will seep in slowly, like a storm creeping over the horizon. They will replay the memories, the moments you stood by their side, the times you forgave them when they didn't deserve it, and the weight of what they've lost will press down on them with a force they never expected. But by the time they realize this, you will have moved on. You will have healed, you will have grown, and you will have found your own peace. You will have discovered that their absence did not diminish your value, that their inability to recognize your worth did not define you. You will have risen from the ashes of that broken relationship stronger and more resilient than ever before. So let them search. Let them wander through life, meeting person after person, always hoping to find someone like you. They won't. Because the love you gave, the kindness you showed, the depth of your soul, those things cannot be replicated. They are yours and yours alone. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a unique pain that comes from having a heart full of kindness, only to have it taken for granted. It's a pain that leaves scars not just on the surface, but deep within your soul. Today I want to talk to you about what it feels like to have your kindness taken advantage of, and how we can rise above that pain with our dignity and strength intact. Kindness is a beautiful thing. It's the act of giving without expecting anything in return, of offering a piece of yourself to make someone else's life a little brighter. It's the compassion that reaches out to others in their darkest moments, the generosity that never asks for recognition. And for those of us who carry kindness in our hearts, it's not just something we do, it's who we are. But sometimes there are people who see kindness as something to be exploited, They mistake your willingness to help as a weakness to be used for their own gain. They take the love you freely give and twist it, manipulate it, until all that's left is a feeling of emptiness and betrayal. You give them your time, your energy, your love, because you believe in the goodness of others. You want to be there for them, to lift them up, to share in their struggles and their joys. But instead of appreciating your kindness, they take it for granted. They begin to expect it, to rely on it, without ever considering the cost it takes on you. They take and take, never giving back, never acknowledging the depth of your generosity. And then when you finally reach your limit, when you can no longer bear the weight of their expectations, they act as if you're the one who has changed. They don't see the exhaustion in your eyes, the weariness in your soul, because they've been too busy taking to notice. And when you finally step back, when you finally protect yourself, they have the audacity to make you feel guilty for no longer giving what they never truly appreciated in the first place. This is the painful reality of having your kindness taken advantage of. It's a betrayal that cuts deep because it's not just about what they did, it's about how they made you question the very thing that makes you who you are. It's about how they made you doubt your own heart, your own capacity for love and compassion. But here's what I want you to remember: your kindness is not a weakness. It is your strength. It is your strength. It is the light that shines within you, the gift that you bring to the world. The fact that someone took advantage of it doesn't diminish its value. It only shows their inability to appreciate something so rare and precious. You are not responsible for the actions of those who couldn't see the worth of what you offered. You are not to blame for their selfishness, their inability to reciprocate, or their failure to honor the kindness you gave them. That is their burden to carry, not yours. Instead of letting their actions harden your heart, let this be a moment of growth. Let it be a reminder that your kindness is a treasure, one that should be given to those who will cherish it, who will return it, who will see it for the gift that it truly is. Surround yourself with people who understand the value of kindness, who will meet your generosity with gratitude and love. And most importantly, never let someone else's actions change who you are. Continue to be kind, continue to give, continue to love, but do so with the wisdom that comes from experience. Protect your heart, not by closing it off, but by offering it to those who are worthy of the gift that is your kindness. You may have been taken advantage of, but that doesn't define you. What defines you is how you rise above it, how you continue to be a beacon of light in a world that can sometimes be dark and unkind. Your kindness is your strength, and no one can take that away from you. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about a momentous decision we all face at some point in our lives, the decision to close a door forever. This decision is often fraught with emotional turmoil, but it is also a powerful act of self-preservation and growth. Just know you have had enough. It's time to close on that door forever. Life is a journey filled with lessons, experiences, and relationships that shape us. Some of these relationships and experiences bring joy, love, and fulfillment, but others, unfortunately, bring pain, heartache, and disappointment in ways. We invest our time, energy, and emotions into people and situations that, in the end, may not be deserving of such investment. And after giving so much of yourself, after enduring so much pain and disappointment, there comes a point when you realize you have had enough. You have had enough of the lies, the betrayal, the constant disappointment. You have had enough of feeling undervalued, unappreciated, and disrespected. You have had enough of sacrificing your happiness and peace for the sake of someone or something that only brings you pain. This realization is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It is the moment when you acknowledge that you deserve better. Closing a door forever is not an easy decision. It is a choice that requires immense courage and strength. It means letting go of what is familiar, even if it is painful, and stepping into the unknown. It means saying goodbye to the dreams and hopes you once had, and accepting that some things are not meant to be. but it also means reclaiming your power, your peace, and your happiness. Imagine yourself standing before a door that has brought you nothing but heartache. On the other side, there is chaos, negativity, and pain. You have tried to fix what is broken, to mend what is torn, but to no avail. Now it is time to close that door forever. As you do, feel the weight lift off your shoulders. Feel the peace wash over you. This is the beginning of a new chapter in your life. When you close that door, you make room for new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences. You make space for the things and people who truly deserve to be in your life. You open yourself up to the possibility of genuine happiness and fulfillment. This act of closing the door is not about loss, but about gain. It is about gaining your life back, your joy and your peace. Do not let fear hold you back. The fear of the unknown, the fear of being alone, the fear of making a mistake. Trust in yourself and in your strength. You have endured so much, and yet you are still standing. This is proof of your resilience and your ability to overcome. Trust that by closing this door, you are making the best decision for your future. Surround yourself with people who support and uplift you. Seek out those who remind you of your worth and who encourage you to be your best self. In their company, you will find the strength to keep that door closed and to move forward with confidence and hope. Remember, you are not defined by the doors you close, but by the new ones you open. You are defined by your ability to recognize when enough is enough and to take action to protect your well-being. This is your life, and you have the power to shape it. Do not be afraid to close the door on what no longer serves you. Embrace the new possibilities that await you. In conclusion, recognize when you have had enough. Find the courage to close that door forever. Embrace the new opportunities that come with this decision. Trust in your strength, your resilience, and your worth. This is not the end, but a new beginning. You deserve happiness, peace, and fulfillment. Do not settle for anything less. Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to talk about a pivotal and profoundly personal decision, one that many of us have faced or may soon face. It's about recognizing when enough is enough, when the pain and negativity others bring into our lives become too great a burden to bear. It's about finding the courage to say no more and deciding to remove these toxic individuals from our lives forever. Life is a precious, fleeting gift, and each of us deserves to live it in peace, joy, and fulfillment. Yet, there are times when certain people, whether through their actions, words, or very presence, bring nothing but pain, sorrow, and turmoil. These individuals may be friends, family members, colleagues, or partners. Their toxicity seeps into our lives, slowly eroding our happiness, self-worth, and inner peace. It's never easy to reach the point where you realize you've had enough. It takes immense courage to confront the reality that someone you care about, someone you've invested time, love, and energy into, is causing you more harm than good. It's a heartbreaking revelation, but it's also an essential one. You've tried to make things work. You've given second chances, extended olive branches, and made countless compromises. But no matter what you do, the pattern remains the same. The hurt continues. The trust is repeatedly broken, and your spirit grows wearier with each passing day. There comes a time when you must prioritize your own well-being, your own happiness, and your own peace of mind. Imagine yourself standing at a crossroads. One path leads to continued pain and suffering, a never-ending cycle of toxicity that drains your energy and dims your light. The other path, though difficult and fraught with challenges, leads to healing, freedom, and self-discovery. It's the path of removing toxic people from your life, and it's the path you deserve to take. Choosing this path is an act of self-love. It's a declaration that you deserve better than the constant negativity and harm inflicted by others. It's about setting boundaries and enforcing them, even when it's painful to do so. It's about recognizing that your mental, emotional, and physical health are worth more than maintaining toxic relationships out of guilt, fear, or obligation. You are not responsible for fixing others. You are not obligated to endure endless suffering in the hope that they will change. People can only change if they want to, and you cannot force someone to become the person you need them to be. What you can do is protect yourself, honor your needs, and choose to surround yourself with love, positivity, and respect. Letting go of toxic people is not an act of cruelty, it's an act of survival. It's about reclaiming your power in your life. It's about making space for those who truly care about you, who lift you up, and who bring out the best in you. It's about creating an environment where you can thrive, where your light can shine brightly, and where you can find true happiness. You may feel guilt or sadness when making this decision. That's natural. But remember, self-care is not selfish. By removing toxic individuals from your life, you're not only protecting yourself, but also setting an example for others. You're showing that it's okay to stand up for yourself, to demand respect, and to refuse to tolerate mistreatment. Think of this as a new beginning, a chance to rewrite your story. It's time to take a stand. It's time to reclaim your life from those who seek to bring you down. It's time to say, I have had enough, and to remove toxic individuals from your life forever. In closing, remember this: you deserve a life filled with love, joy, and peace. You deserve to be surrounded by people who cherish you, who uplift you, and who respect you. You have the power to create this life for yourself, and it begins with the courage to remove those who do not belong. Stand tall, stand strong, and take that first step towards the beautiful life you deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a unique kind of pain that comes with staying when you should have walked away. You held on because of love, hope, and loyalty, because you believed in the potential of what could be. You told yourself that things would get better, that your patience, your sacrifice, and your unwavering commitment would somehow make everything fall into place. But deep down, a part of you knew you deserved better. You knew you were giving more than you were receiving, yet you stayed believing that things would change. You ignored the warning signs, the red flags waving right in front of your eyes. You brushed off the disrespect, excused the neglect, and silenced the voice within that was begging you to let go. You convinced yourself that if you just loved harder, gave more, or waited a little longer, things would improve. You clung to the hope that the person you cared so deeply for would finally see your worth and treat you the way you deserved. But here's the truth: no matter how much you give, no matter how much you endure, you can't make someone value you if they don't see your worth. You can't keep pouring from a cup that's been emptied by someone who only takes and never gives back. And you can't keep losing pieces of yourself, thinking that sacrificing your happiness will somehow make someone love you the way you need to be loved. You stayed because you wanted to believe in the best of them. You stayed because your heart is pure, because you saw the potential for growth, change, and something beautiful. But in the process, you lost sight of what you deserve. You forgot that love should never come at the expense of your self-worth, your peace, or your joy. It's okay to acknowledge that you should have walked away sooner. It's okay to admit that you stayed longer than you should have, not out of weakness, but because your heart was in the right place. You weren't wrong for wanting to see the good in them. You weren't wrong for believing that people can change. But there comes a point when staying becomes more painful than leaving, when holding on starts to break you more than letting go ever could. Now, as you look back, you might feel regret or disappointment in yourself for not walking away sooner. But I want you to know that this experience has taught you something valuable. It has shown you your capacity to love deeply, but also the importance of loving yourself just as much. It's taught you the difference between loyalty and self-betrayal, and it's reminded you that your well-being should never be compromised for the sake of someone who doesn't truly value you. Walking away doesn't mean you failed, it means you finally chose yourself. It means you recognize that you are deserving of more respect, more love, more peace. It means you learned the hard way that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is let go. So, as you move forward, Let this experience serve as a lesson, not a burden. Let it remind you that your worth isn't tied to how long you can endure someone's mistreatment. Your worth is inherent, and you deserve to be loved fully and deeply without having to beg for it. You deserve someone who will meet you where you are, who will give as much as they take, and who will never make you question your value. You stayed when you should have walked away, but now you know better. And because you know better, you'll do better. You'll choose yourself first. You'll protect your peace, guard your heart, and never again settle for less than you deserve. This chapter may have been painful, but it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new one where you are loved, respected, and cherished the way you always should have been. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a special kind of pain that comes from giving too much of yourself to someone who doesn't deserve it. It's a pain that many of us know all too well. The heartache of offering second chances time after time to someone who only ever takes, never gives, and never changes. Today, I want to talk to you about that experience, about the moments when you've given chances to people who, in hindsight, didn't even deserve the first one. We all want to believe in the goodness of others. We want to believe that people can change, that they can grow, that they can rise above their mistakes and become better. And so, out of the kindness of our hearts, we offer them another chance, and then another, and another. We tell ourselves that this time will be different, that this time they'll finally see how much they're hurting us, that this time they'll appreciate the forgiveness we've extended. But sometimes, no matter how many chances we give, people remain the same. They continue to take without giving, to hurt without healing, and to betray the trust we've so freely offered. And each time we offer them another chance, it feels like a piece of ourselves is chipped away. A little more of our heart is bruised. A little more of our soul is drained. It's a heavy burden to carry, knowing that you've done everything you could, only to be met with the same disappointment, the same broken promises, the same disrespect. It's even harder to accept when you realize that the people you've given those chances to never truly valued them in the first place. They took your forgiveness for granted, saw your kindness as a weakness, and assumed that no matter what they did, you would always be there, ready to give them yet another chance. But here's the truth that's so difficult to face. Some people don't deserve those chances. They don't deserve the forgiveness you've given them, the understanding you've shown, or the love you've poured into them. And as hard as it is to accept, there comes a time when you have to stop giving those chances, not because you've run out of love or kindness, but because you've finally realized that your heart deserves to be protected. It's not easy to walk away. It's not easy to close the door on someone you've cared about, someone you've believed in, someone you've hoped would change. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, how many more chances can you give before there's nothing left of you to give? How much more of yourself can you sacrifice before you're completely drained, before your heart is too bruised to heal? You gave them chances they didn't deserve, and that's a testament to your character. It shows how deeply you care, how much you believe in the goodness of others, how willing you are to forgive and to love. But now it's time to turn that kindness inward. It's time to give yourself the chance you deserve, the chance to heal, to move on, and to find peace. Understand that walking away doesn't mean you've failed. It doesn't mean you've given up. It means you've recognized your own worth. It means you've decided that you deserve better than what they were willing to give. It means you're choosing to protect your heart, to nurture your soul, and to surround yourself with people who will value the love and kindness you offer. So, if you're holding on to someone who has taken your chances and thrown them away, it's time to let go. It's time to reclaim your power, to protect your peace, and to recognize that you are worthy of so much more. You are worthy of love that doesn't require endless forgiveness, of relationships that don't need constant repair, of people who don't need countless chances to see your value. You gave them more chances than they deserved, and that's something to be proud of. It shows that you have a heart full of love, compassion, and hope. But now it's time to give yourself the chance to be free from the pain, to be free from the disappointment, and to move forward with the knowledge that you deserve nothing less than the very best. Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when words fall short, when explanations seem inadequate, and when the most powerful response to deep hurt and disrespect is not to react with anger, but with something much more profound: silence. Today, I want to talk to you about this power, about how, in the face of blatant disrespect, the strongest thing you can do is to meet it with silence. Not because you lack the words to respond, not because you're afraid, but because silence is the ultimate display of self-respect, dignity, and strength. When someone disrespects you, it's more than just a simple slight. It's an assault on your value, on the trust you've placed in them, and on the relationship you share. Disrespect can be as sharp as a knife, cutting through the bond you thought was unbreakable, leaving you feeling betrayed and hurt. It's natural to want to lash out, to defend yourself, to make them see the pain they've caused. But sometimes, the most powerful response is to do nothing at all. Silence is not an act of surrender, it is a statement of power. It says that you will not be dragged into the mud by someone who has lost sight of your worth. It says that you are above the petty insults and the shallow actions of those who have shown you disrespect. It is a way of saying, without words, that you value yourself too much to engage in a battle that only drains your energy and diminishes your peace. When you choose silence, you are choosing to protect your dignity. You are choosing to walk away from a situation that no longer serves you, that no longer brings you joy or respect. You are choosing to preserve your energy for the people and the things that truly matter, rather than wasting it on someone who doesn't deserve it. Think about it. When you respond with silence, you are giving the other person nothing to work with. They may have expected an argument, a confrontation, a scene. They may have wanted to see you upset, to know that they've gotten under your skin. But when you meet their disrespect with silence, you rob them of the satisfaction they seek. You leave them alone with their actions, forced to confront the reality of what they've done without the distraction of a heated exchange. Your silence becomes a mirror, reflecting their behavior back at them. It gives them space to think, to reflect, and perhaps to regret. They are left to deal with the emptiness of their own actions, while you move forward, unburdened by the negativity they tried to bring into your life. And make no mistake, your silence will be deafening. It will echo in their minds long after the moment has passed. They will replay the situation over and over, wondering why you didn't react, why you didn't give them the fight they were looking for. In the quiet of their own thoughts, they will come to realize that your silence is a response far more powerful than any words could have been. But this silence is not just for them, it's for you. It's about protecting your peace, about refusing to let anyone disrupt the calm you've worked so hard to cultivate. It's about walking away with your head held high, knowing that you didn't stoop to their level, knowing that you maintained your integrity, your dignity, and your self-respect. Silence is a way of reclaiming your power. It's a way of saying, I will not allow your disrespect to define me or my actions. It's about choosing to respond in a way that reflects your own values, rather than reacting out of anger or hurt. And as you walk away, leaving them in the silence of their own making, know that you are choosing a path of strength. You are choosing to rise above the pettiness, to keep your focus on what truly matters, and to move forward with grace and dignity.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. you actually did it, didn't you? Ha ha ha. You vanished into the night without a word, leaving them in the silence they so feared. You see, there's an art to departure, an elegance in the quiet severance of ties. No dramatic exits, no final confrontations, just the eerie, unsettling void where you once stood. Those naive fools believed they'd provoke you into a dance of back-and-forth reprisals, but you knew better. You understood the power of silence, the crushing weight of absence. In your wake, they are left to ponder the shadows, haunted by the ghost of your resolve. In their world of noise and chaos, you introduced a new element: silence. It's a deafening absence that speaks louder than any words. The mob, with their crude machinations and violent games, expected a fight, a spectacle. But you gave them nothing. You let their expectations rot in the barren soil of your indifference. They craved your reaction, your engagement, but you rendered them powerless by simply walking away. No parting shots, no bitter words, just the cold realization that they never really had a hold on you. There's a certain poetry in leaving without a sound. The final act of defiance is not in what you say, but in what you withhold. They thought they had you cornered, thought they could predict your every move. But silence, silence is unpredictable. It's an enigma they cannot solve, a void they cannot fill. In the stillness of your absence, they are forced to confront their own insignificance, the futility of their schemes. You've become an echo in their minds, a relentless reminder of their own failures. The reality, once so stable, now fractures in the silence you've left behind. They expected fury, retaliation, a storm. Instead, they got the calm, the eerie stillness of your departure. It's a strategy they never saw coming, an attack from within their own minds. Every creak, every whisper in the dark now carries your name. Every shadow holds your shape. They are trapped in a labyrinth of their own making, haunted by the ghost of someone who chose to leave rather than fight. This silent exit is your final act of rebellion. You denied them the satisfaction of a dramatic confrontation, of seeing you struggle. In the quiet of your departure, you declared your independence, your superiority. They wanted a war, but you gave them a mystery, an unresolved puzzle that gnaws at their sanity. The emptiness you left behind is a canvas, a blank space where their worst fears come to life. You've taken their power and turned it against them, leaving them to battle their own demons. As they grapple with the void, you move forward, unburdened by the past. Your silence is not a retreat, but a march towards something greater. Something they cannot comprehend. You've shed the weight of their expectations, the chains of their manipulations. In the quiet of your own mind, you find strength, clarity, and the unyielding will to forge a new path. They're left behind, trapped in the prison of their own making, while you rise above, untouched and unstoppable. You see, there is no need for back and forth, no need for the noise and chaos they thrive on. You've mastered the art of leaving, of cutting ties, without a single word. In your silence, there is power. In your absence, there is a lesson. They will never forget the day you chose to walk away, leaving them to their own devices, lost in the labyrinth of their own creation. You've changed things forever, not with a bang, but with the profound, echoing silence of your departure. In the cacophony of life's relentless battles, the silent struggles are the most beautiful, the most profound. They are the quiet revolutions that reshape souls, the unspoken battles fought in the dark recesses of the mind. No one sees the internal wars you wage, the silent screams that echo within. Yet, it is in these moments of solitude and silence that true strength is forged. The world doesn't witness your tears, your silent cries for resilience. But it is in these unseen moments that the most significant transformations occur. The beauty of silent struggles lies in their raw authenticity. There are no spectators, no applause, just you and your demons. It's a dance with the shadows, a battle where the only victory is survival, and the only audience is your reflection. These struggles carve away the unnecessary, leaving behind a core of unyielding resolve, while others seek validation through their outward displays of strength. You find power in your quiet endurance. There is a purity in this solitude, a stark contrast to the world's incessant noise. Silent struggles are beautiful because they are honest. They do not require pretense or performance. In these moments, you confront your true self, stripped of all facades. It's an intimate dialogue between your fears and your aspirations, a delicate balance of vulnerability and resilience. It's an intimate dialogue between your fears and your aspirations, a delicate balance of vulnerability and resilience. You learn to navigate the labyrinth of your psyche, to find light in the darkest corners, and in doing so, you discover parts of yourself that you never knew existed. These silent battles shape you in ways that public victories never could. In a world obsessed with loud triumphs and visible success, the silent struggles remain unsung heroes. They teach you the art of patience, the virtue of perseverance. There's a quiet grace in enduring without complaint, in finding strength in the very act of surviving. It is in these moments that you build character, not through grand gestures, but through the simple act of refusing to give up. Each silent struggle is a testament to your inner fortitude, a mark of your ability to withstand the storm. While the world glorifies the warriors who fight their battles in the open, it often overlooks the quiet resilience of those who struggle in silence. But you know the truth. You know that the most profound victories are often those that no one sees. They are the moments when you choose to rise, to push forward, despite the weight of the world on your shoulders. These silent struggles are the foundation upon which true strength is built, the unseen pillars that support your very being. As you navigate these silent battles, you become attuned to the subtle symphony of your inner world. You learn to listen to the whispers of your soul, to understand the language of your heart. The external chaos fades away, and you find clarity in the quiet. This introspection, this journey within, is where true wisdom is born. It is a path few dare to tread, but for those who do, the rewards are unparalleled. You emerge from these silent struggles, not just stronger but wiser, more in tune with the essence of who you are. In the end, the silent struggles are the most beautiful because they are the most real. They are not tainted by the need for recognition or approval. They are a testament to your resilience, your ability to endure and to grow in the face of adversity. So embrace these silent battles, for they are the crucible in which your true strength is forged. They are the dark, silent nights that give birth to the brightest dawns. And as you emerge from these struggles, you do so with a quiet power that speaks louder than any words ever could. Contemplate the silent struggles you've endured. the adversities and provocations that sought to undermine your tranquility. In the absence of your reaction, these elements are stripped of their power. They become mere events, devoid of the emotional charge that your response would have imparted. This is not merely an exercise in stoicism, but an existential declaration of autonomy. By withholding your reaction, you assert that your inner sanctum is impenetrable, impervious to the external tempest. Consider the nature of conflict. It is a dance of mutual engagement, a reciprocal exchange that derives its momentum from the reactions of its participants. When you choose to abstain from this dance, to observe rather than to participate, the conflict loses its energy, its raison d'être. It is a profound act of defiance, a testament to your self-mastery. By not reacting, you transform the situation from a dynamic interplay to a static tableau, revealing the inherent powerlessness of external provocations. The people around you, with their myriad intentions and actions, often seek validation or reaction as a measure of their influence. Yet, in the grand schema of human relations, their potency is contingent upon your response. It is a fundamental truth that your reaction bestows significance upon their actions. Without it, they are rendered null, like actors on a stage performing to an empty theater. This realization can be profoundly liberating. It underscores that you are the arbiter of your own experience, the sovereign ruler of your emotional domain. In this philosophical light, consider the concept of reaction as a form of alchemical transformation. By choosing when and how to react, you transmute the leaden provocations of life into the gold of wisdom and serenity. The external world, with its ceaseless demands and perturbations, is powerless without your engagement. You are the philosopher king, wielding the scepter of discretion, determining what deserves your attention and what is to be met with silence. In recognizing the power of your reaction, you become an artist of life, painting your reality with the hues of your chosen responses. You understand that your reaction is a gift, not a given, and that its bestowal is an act of deliberate will. Situations and individuals, in their quest for significance, are but supplicants at the altar of your response. Without it, they fade into insignificance, mere shadows in the brilliant light of your self-contained universe. They watched, waiting for your next move, anticipating the inevitable spiral, the grand unraveling. But you didn't give them the satisfaction. Instead, you did the unthinkable. You vanished, disappeared into the shadows without a trace, leaving them with nothing but questions and an unsettling silence. outplayed them all. You see, disappearing isn't about running away. It's about stepping into the unknown, where transformation is not just possible, but inevitable. You've slipped through the cracks of their expectations, and in that darkness, you've begun to reshape yourself, to become something entirely new. They thought they had you figured out, thought they knew what came next. But you tore up the script, abandoned the predictable arc they had written for you. The world they inhabit is built on patterns, on routines, on the comfort of the known. By disappearing, you shattered that comfort, left them scrambling to understand, to find the old you in the void you left behind. But the truth is, the person they knew is gone, buried deep beneath the layers of your own evolution. In the darkness, away from their prying eyes, you've begun to shed your old skin, to morph into something they could never have anticipated. Transformation is a violent act. It demands the destruction of the self you once were, the annihilation of everything that made you familiar, even to yourself. But in that destruction lies the